Somewhere about 6 hours away from me, Alabama was having a championship PCSL match, and I guess I have a thing about showing up other states. So about 2 weeks before I signed up, I kind of like PCSL multi-gun, and I thought, hey, why not? So this match was this group's first time running a major, and I'll talk about how I went. Stage 1 starts with a few pistol before transitioning to the long range rifle for the match, which was still like right at 200 with full-size lipstick steel targets. Not too challenging, even by PCSL standards, which I think has something like 8 MOA minimum target size. I believe there was 5 designated target positions, and you had to shoot these in order. One note right here, they definitely should have staked down that prop. They didn't at all. It could have rolled all the way down the hill. So note number 1. A few other things that the match could have done better I'm going to talk about up front here. One of which is that they chose to have ROs shoot the match with their squads or follow squads. This wasn't a good idea for a major match because the ROs were assigned, if the ROs were assigned to a stage, they could make sure that it's like run the same way for everyone, even if the stage does something different than other stages. And it also gives the match director a chance to assign ROs who have a skill set, like calling hits at range, to that task. The RO who was calling hits for us back on stage 1 wasn't super great at it, and I and a few other shooters had to like double shoot some long-range steel before it got called. The rules consistency thing also comes into play because the ROs didn't run all the stages the same way as other squads did. It's very notably here and in stage 2 and in stage 1, anywhere on the match, any non-falling pistol steel, our squad was told to shoot them twice. And now after the fact, I know other squads only had to shoot them once, at least on some stages. I don't know if that was for the whole match. Point is, these differences matter. And I could have addressed those with keeping the ROs to a stage. Stage 3, I make the biggest mistake of the match, which cost me a lot of match points. I somehow ended my rifle shooting in a standing position where I didn't see and did not shoot a rifle target, which had to be shot 4 times. That was extremely costly. And my stage plan, I simply just wasn't standing there, and so I didn't realize it disappeared. Stage 4 is a stage that requires shooters to all pretty much do the same thing through 3 windows. One thing I generally prefer in stages, especially at major matches, is options. This match in general didn't offer shooters a lot of options in how to shoot a stage. Stage 5 starts with more positional rifle, this time at 100 yards, and you're supposed to engage targets left to right. Because these targets were so close, our ROs decided not to call hits. Long story short, I engaged targets in order, but I had to go back and make up a hit on my 3rd position. And this caused like a big investigation. For the sake of time, I'm just going to glaze on past it. I think the stage would have been better if the targets were spaced much further apart, and if the ROs were calling hits. And if the rules about engaging versus neutralizing a target in order were more clear. Anyway, it ends with a sprint to paper, which I had a lot of fun with. Stage 6 was the stage with the most planning and choice granted to the shooter and how they wanted to run the stage, which I think is a good thing. Ultimately, the stage plan I followed was one that I stole from a friend. Thank you, Jeremy. It was great to shoot with you. But I just ran it more slowly than I would have liked. Great plan, done slow. Stage 7, I actually ended up reshooting. This is not the scored run. It's 2 strings, 1 rifle, 1 pistol. I got to reshoot this stage because our RO thought that engaging a particular target from a certain way wasn't allowed, and he moved the barrels to make it impossible. Then I found out later that it was allowed, so just something that could be more clear with better written stage descriptions, but it is what it is. In my pistol run here, I thought that I had a real clever stage plan to shoot some targets early and cut out several steps later, and then I just botched it on this filmed run anyway, so. Stage 8 was rifle up front and pistol in back. Rifle grounding table here was actually a little sketchy because I didn't have any hardware on it to like secure the rifle, like a bar or other enclosure or anything like that. So you actually wanted to be careful putting your rifle down there. Then the stage ends with a short sprint to 3 pistol positions. Closing thoughts. This match attracted some great dudes. I had fun shooting it. I'd consider shooting it again if there was like a group of friends going. It's not far from Mobile, Alabama, which is a nice bonus. I think that there's some stuff they could have done better. I already talked about, and I think that the stages should be probably punched up a bit to be a major. However, kudos to the crew for running things on time, and logistically the match was wonderful, which is something that a lot of matches struggle with. All right, see you later.